Guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about being a millionaire. That is right, guys. I'm going to give you the steps that it requires to become a millionaire. But before we get into the video, go ahead and click on subscribe, turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on all of the information that we have. So we're going to go through a couple steps that I know have been proven to build wealth and to build millionaires eventually. Does take a considerable amount of time or a very short amount of time, depending which stage you're at and exactly where you are within your life. Now, step one, guys, making a wealth building plan. We've talked about budgeting. We've talked about a lot of things of that nature. Remember the 50-30-20 rule, making sure the investments are there. Investments, guys, are huge when it comes to the compounding gains. When you start getting multiple years down the road, the gains on investments can be absolutely huge. When you look at the average return of, let's say, the S&P 500, roughly 8 to 10%, over time, over even a decade, if you're consistently putting more money into that investment plan, it is going to pay off dividends. Not only theoretically, but no pun intended, but the growth is going to be there. Now, also looking at education, looking at retirement, things of that nature, insurance to protect your assets. A lot of people do not see value in insurance, but if anything should happen detrimental to you where you are or do have a reduction of income, insurance can be the absolute saving grace in those situations. Now, when it comes to the employer contributions, we've always said this, guys, larger companies always do 401k matches. A majority of them do 4%, 6%, 50 cents on the dollar. There's been a lot of different contribution plans or employer sponsored plans or matching 401k plans. Make sure that you take full advantage of this. Now, we roughly say, and this is an estimate, guys, regardless of what the plan is, save 15%. Once your debt is consolidated, once your debt is paid off in its entirety, saving 15% is your goal. If your employer matches 4, guess what? You're putting much more than 15% because they're matching 4, giving you a 19%. If they're giving you more than that, absolutely, guys, match 15%. Once you put in 15%, maybe the first year, maybe the second year, can be a little difficult just looking at the amount you're putting in their 401k. Trust me, from personal experience, guys, it is going to be well worth it. That way, when you get a raise, your contribution still stays at that 15%, which means your raise is going to have an impact. It's not every year gradually getting there, guys. Stick to the core plan. 15% of that income should go right into your investment plan every single time. Now, with the job market being exactly what it is, you could ask for a raise. Now, this is one of the biggest things, guys. If you're a valued employee at your company, even if you're not, a lot of people will ask for a raise. It is something for Americans is kind of looked down upon, but ultimately it can keep you from searching out other avenues. If you're looking or have experience in a field, another competition will pay more for those skills and abilities that you've acquired at your current employer, allowing you to make more money if you leave the company, which unfortunately it is sad but true. But again, a majority of companies in America do not reward the longevity of team members, which is kind of disappointed. I would like to see that a lot more common, where if wages are going up, you get well above the wage to keep you because you are a high performing individual, or even seeing raises that kind of outpace inflation. Even now in the United States, inflation is roughly 8%. You might get a 2%, 3% raise, which is pretty good by some people's means, but ultimately you're losing money or not even cutting out the inflation that we're seeing within the market. Now, step number 4, guys, saving a lot of your earnings. We've talked about this before. Again, investing that 15% right off the bat makes a tremendous difference. Living outside of your means is the biggest negative thing that I've ever seen. Taking on extra debt, buying luxury items. We've talked about this before. When you need a new car, is it buying a $30,000 car, a 57, a 50,000, 70,000, 90,000, whatever it may be, guys? A car is going to take you from A to B, regardless of the make and model of the vehicle, as long as it is reliable transportation. That is a significant amount that you can put into interest, into investment accounts, into living within your means. Again, with the budget, guys, I cannot really stress it enough how important it is to be real strict when it comes to the budget. Now, a lot of people, again, I listen to a lot of motivational, listen to a lot of financial education. They say live on 30% of your budget. If you can live on 30% of your budget, you are absolutely 100% living within inside of your means. But that means you can take ownership. By ownership, I mean owning companies, guys. When you're investing in Apple, when you're investing in Google, when you're investing in Tesla, those large cap companies can really make a difference, again, in the longevity of having a financial freedom and becoming a millionaire, which I know, again, a lot of people, the goal is not so much about the money, but about being happy doing what you're doing, guys. A lot of people will say, well, if I made more money, I could do this, or if I could do this, kind of a quid pro quo. That is not the mindset you really need to have in this, guys. If you're dedicated, if you have a budget, if you're sticking to it, if you're investing on a consistent basis, trust me, the rewards will come. The results will come. It may take longer than you expected, but ultimately it will come. Now, step number 5, guys, getting multiple income streams. So if you're looking on the internet, there's a lot of stuff about passive income. There's a lot of doing YouTube, just like I am here, making videos on TikTok. There is a lot of side hustle, whether it be DoorDash, whether it be delivery, whether it be a part-time job. If you're looking to pay down bills, let's say you make $50,000 a year, you want to pay off the bill quicker. Let's say you make an extra 10 or 15,000 as a side hustle, as a part-time job, whatever it may be. Using those bonus funds to go towards paying off that debt will make it that much faster. Even using some of that money, if the debt is already paid off, to invest, to reinvest, to create, again, wealth is what we're looking to do here, guys. Making sure, again, you're not living outside of your means. Now, number 6 is my biggest one and my absolute favorite one, guys, eliminating debt. The biggest deterrent to becoming a millionaire is the reduction of debt. The more money you have, of course, let's say you have 5 bills, you have 7 bills. Let's say you're tying up $500 a month just in bills, just straight up. Let's say it's credit card debt. Let's say it's unsecured loans, whatever it may be, $500 a month. If you remove that, if you eliminate that debt, if you pay it down, really does 2 things for you guys. Number 1, you will not have that payment. Your monthly income will be increased because you eliminated that debt. 2, you will not pay interest on that debt. That is really the big thing, guys. It is paying the interest. It can be detrimental, especially if you have a higher interest rate. It gets super expensive when the balances start getting high. If you're looking, on average, I believe the average American household has about $7,000 in credit card debt, which is incredible because you are making a monthly liability with this debt, and you are making a monthly payment, which those are money that you could be allocating elsewhere. Again, you could be eliminating additional debt. You could be investing those funds. You really have to pick and choose your battles, guys, knowing your budget, knowing exactly what you can do. Couple other ones, guys, investing smart. Make sure, guys, simple investment strategies, usually the most effective. I always recommend, I use M1 Finance. There's a link down below. Within there, guys, I invest in the S&P 500. It takes the nation's 500 biggest companies. I know it doesn't expose me to overseas global markets, things of that nature, but it is a super simple investment strategy. I know a couple other financial advisors, such as Dave Ramsey, that has buying a couple different funds to really basically risk manage your portfolio is the way that it is. Again, not financial advice. You can check him out. He has a lot of really, really cool things out there. Improving your skills. Now, this is one, guys, that a lot of people do not look at. And again, one of the biggest things, going back to school, getting an advanced degree, let's say moving into another field that you're not familiar with, maybe one that you've always wanted to go into, look for tuition reimbursement, look for grants, look for scholarships. Improving your skills, guys, is really the best way to really move to the next level. Earning more income, when you ask for the raise, they're absolutely going to give it to you because you are a valued person, creating more longevity, making you essentially a better person, better at your job. Even I know a lot of the challenges, spending 1 hour, Arnold has talked about this quite a bit, 1 hour a day dedicated to something will make you an expert over a certain amount of time. But how many days and how many hours do you spend working on yourself? Really take a minute and think about that. Couple other ones, guys, making sure that you are not buying anything that is very, very out there. Again, if you're on a $50,000 budget, doesn't mean you need a $100,000 Range Rover. Absolutely not. It's not living with inside of your means. You get the payment. You also do get the insurance. Fundamentally, it doesn't make sense based on your income. If you're making $500,000 a year and you're buying a $100,000 car, kind of a different scenario when you're making 10 times the income, which is all relative to really what you make. Now, the big thing is, guys, is when you do get that raise, when you get that promotion, is not impulse spending, not going out and buying that larger house, going out and buying that larger car, whatever it may be, guys. You want to save money. You want to make sure you have your emergency fund set. Make sure you're investing at least 15% of your income. And it can absolutely work, guys, to turn anyone into a millionaire. So guys, that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.